Hello, good morning.
Morning, everyone.
So after all this robots conversation, so I expect that next year will be robots doing this talk for us, okay?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So good morning to all. So it's a great pleasure to be here in this exciting event. So there is no doubt that artificial intelligence is already part of our daily lives of people and organizations. So we have seen two ways of approaching the adoption. One is tactical, and the other is more strategic. Of course, the most popular, it's of course the tactical one, which focus on the use cases and with immediate benefits, such as the cost savings or the increased productivity. So in this approach, models are implemented in a separate, isolated, and departmental way, and make it more expensive and ineffective on the medium and long term. So on the other end, there is the strategic approach, and allows for an AI with lasting benefits, make it much more effective and sustainable. So EDP, which is the largest Portuguese company, has opted for this strategic approach. So it's an honor and pleasure to have with me here in the stage Nelson Pinho, which is leading the digital and AI area for EDP. And thank you for sharing with us your experience and thoughts about this approach. So I'll start to make my first question to you, Nelson. So while implementing this strategic AI approach, what were the fundamental elements that you saw?
First of all, thank you very much, Manuel. Hello, everyone. Thank you, DXC, for having me here. It's always a pleasure to be at Building the Future, an event that I saw growing, and it's even better than the first edition. Congrats to Microsoft and all the partners that made this possible. So, getting back to the question that you made, so there are four fundamental elements in our data and AI strategy that we think that are really important to make a structured approach for this journey. One is, of course, having a common vision, the strategy, a common vision that is embraced by everyone in the company, so you ensure that everyone is aligned in the same direction. The second of all is the roadmap. Make sure that you are not looking everywhere. Make sure that you condensate your bets on your actual big bets. Don't look at the long tail. Focus all the resources you have to transform whatever brings you the most value for your businesses. Then, change. You have to make sure that the transformation is real. And the only way to do that is to apply change management for every process. You need to reinvent the process. And how do you do that? You have to put the designers at the beginning of this journey. There are two options to do this. You can have a bunch of co-pilots enhancing and optimizing every step of your processes, or you can reinvent the whole process and think differently, infusing AI in whatever you have to do. And you only can do this if you work directly with the business to think differently about the way they do the things they have to do. And lastly, you have the foundations, the capabilities. And here you need to spend time and effort to fix it. First, the data. You have to have a comprehensive and global vision of your data governance. You must catalog every data element you have in the company. This is the only way to speed up your engineers, data scientists, because they will be able to look at the global catalog and cherry-pick the data that they need to create those models. If you don't have that, you will spend 30 to 50% of each project just looking to the data. Then, of course, you have to look into that governance platform and look at the data quality you have and improve that over time. Secondly, and this is where DXC comes, you need to look at the tech practices. Before 2024, we didn't have an MLOps practice everywhere. Now we have. We established an MLOps practice because creating an AI product is not cheap. make no mistake, is really expensive. So you better do it well. You better do it well, and you better do it in a way that you can replicate to other processes. We'll get back in detail on this later on. So then the organization. The resources on data and AI are scarce. So you need to make sure that you create a community around you and you cherry pick all the best talent you have on the organization and align those in the concept of unique teams that work both with competence centers and deployment teams with close to the business while developing those big bets that I just talked about. And then, of course, the talent. You need to upskill everyone, both on the customer side, the users, and also top management of the team, and also your black belts. It's very important that within those teams, you actually know what you're doing. Last but not the least, the ecosystem. We cannot do this alone. And there's a bunch of incredible partners that, of course, EDP works with to extend our knowledge, to capture innovation that they bring to us, best practices that they implement all over the globe. You have to use that in a smart way. So take good care of them and make sure that they also understand transparently your strategy and they bring those accelerators to the table. Those, I would say, that are the main suggestions I would give to the audience.
Okay, I think that's very clarifying. So I'll go through one of the topics, which is the MLOps practice. So DXC and EDP have been working on this practice, implementing the practice, which aim to adopt a framework with implementation of software, business process, etc., as you already mentioned. So what was the impact of this project for EDP?
Well, when you implement an MLOps strategy, you have to bear in mind that it's not going to be easy. You'll bring new processes to the table, to the development teams. In the beginning, it will be slightly slower. You need to engage everyone, create pipelines all over the place, but then it will pay off. It will pay off in different manners. First of all, like I said before, developing a good AI product is not cheap. So it's better for you to develop one that you can reuse. And you can only do this if you have repositories, if you have that cataloged, if you can look and consult that catalog and reuse what you have just built. Secondly, because MLOps will help you to fast the process of going from something that is experimental to something that is in live production. Thirdly, because it's the only process you have to actually monitor the code that you are developing against the data you have. And then you can fine-tune the quality of the model that you've trained against the parameters that you have trained for. And you have that in the structured manner and professionally monitored. And last but not the least is the only way you can actually know exactly what was the code that you used to train that model. And this is fundamental to be compliant with AI Act, which, by the way, we need to be until June. So those are the 5 most important reasons, I would say, to implement this MLOps practice.
So as this is a quick conversation, so and have towards the finish, I will finish with a question, which is, how the AI looks in the future for EDP?
Well, personally, I think that it will transform every corner of EDP. And it's actually already doing that. The mindset we all have is that everything could be automated. I can give you a few examples from automation in pruning the vegetation on our power lines to actually having drones streamlining our solar and wind plants and having robots doing the maintenance for us. This is not science fiction. We are already doing that. So the future will be massively transformed. All the areas within ADP, from trading to networks to generation, will be automated with AI for sure in the next few years.
Okay, so as they say, so the future is already here, right?
Yes, and by the way, the experience of the users as well. I'm not going to forget our dearest retail clients that will have also the access to new agents soon enough.
So as the lunchtime is approaching very quickly, so we wrap up this session. Let me thank you, Nelson, for sharing these thoughts and ideas with us. Hopefully it has been enlightening for all of you. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Thank you very much.